We all know how planning a wedding could be so stressful to a point that you get frustrated and still you don't get the perfect wedding. What do we do? So I met someone in my line of work, which is emceeing as well as presenting, hosting TV shows, red carpets, whatnot. I'm your girl. So basically I met someone in my line of work, and I think she was about getting married at that time, and she was asking me, what do I need to do? How do I prepare for my wedding? And I'm like, there are a lot of things to consider, before getting married or when preparing for your marriage. People don't tend to know. So this is going to be a part 1 and part 2 video. The first one would be basically how to plan a video. It's like a guide. And the part 2 would be step-by-step guide on planning a wedding in Nigeria. But before I start the video, I would like to introduce myself. I am Sumi, and I make vlogs and lifestyle entertainment gist and all that. I tend to bring trending issues, and of course I make beauty, fashion and all that, and also stories. So basically, if you are interested, if you're new here, welcome. Okay, make sure you click on the red subscribe button and make sure you click on the post notification bell so you can get alerts on all of my uploads. Do not miss out on joining this amazing family. Okay, well, with that being said, let's just head on to the main point of this video. Many people know, almost every lady always have this Cinderella plan in her head. Okay, I don't want to say almost everyone, because I have a best friend who does not have any particular plan for her wedding. It's like I am the planner for that wedding that's gonna happen hopefully soon. But majority of women, ladies, have had that dream, like, this is how I want it to be, this is exactly how I want it to be. You go to people's wedding and then you're looking at how the setup is. Oh my god, I love the decor, I love what the bride is wearing, I love what the groom is wearing. I would like my husband to wear something like this. Oh, do you get? It's like we do that almost every time. For the guys, I'm not so sure, but then for the women, yeah, we do that all the time, right? And then even with all that dream, you put in the good work, you put in the money, but still your wedding isn't as perfect as you have planned it. Honestly, that's life. You cannot have that perfect wedding. Nothing is perfect. So no matter what, you could sit there and plan everything and still it won't come out exactly the way you picture it. The only thing it could do is come close, and that is a good thing. Okay, I planned my wedding. I took my time, like, to do everything, but still it still came out a bit not exactly as I pictured it, but it came close, which is okay. I decided to bring you a guide that would, like a complete guide basically, that would help you to plan your wedding in Nigeria, that is. And I'm sure you could pick out some things. If you are in any part of the world, you could pick out some things that could actually help. But basically, I want to concentrate in Nigeria. So the first thing you do normally after you meet a girl and you meet a guy, you introduce them to your family and everything is made official. Then you set a date, right? After setting the date, what happens? Then next, it will be deciding on the wedding budget. Do you want it loud? Do you want it modest? It's up to you. Nobody is judging you, and do not let anybody sway you from your decision. If you want a modest wedding, then by all means do you. There are amazing, beautiful modest wedding that come out looking awesome, and then there are amazing loud wedding that come out looking amazing, like wonderful. So do what makes you happy. Just make sure you decide. Make sure you do not borrow. I know that situations sometimes tend to put you in a lock that you feel you have to borrow. If you want, please do not borrow something major, something that you now end up, you start owing someone after marriage when you're supposed to enjoy the honeymoon and enjoy your time and all that. Do not borrow anything major. Basically, you should just make a list. Okay, make a list and make sure you prioritize it, like from the top to the bottom. What is the major thing you want to do on your wedding, and what are the listings that you could do without? There are some things that if you want to, you'll be like, no, this is major, I have to do this. But then there are other things that you can do without. Depends. I can't tell you what exactly would be, because what would be major for me might be small for you. So you just think about what works for you. For me, I would say okay, wedding deco are amazing. I love the hall to look lovely, so I would want to put in a lot of money on that one. But for you, you could say no, wedding venue isn't, you know, the big deal. I would prefer say to wear more expensive shoe than my wedding. At least I will still have my shoe, but then the wedding venue is just for a few hours and then it's gone. You get? So whatever your priority is, just set it straight, and that would help you with your budget. Okay, next will be deciding what you want your wedding to be like. Like I said, it is you, so just do you. It's a one-time opportunity is all we're hoping for. You cannot decide this alone. You have to decide with your spouse. So that's the essence why I'm actually mentioning it, because I feel like I've actually talked about it, you know, in the budget section. But then yes, it's always good to sit with your partner and decide what exactly do you want. Do you want an outdoor? Is it an indoor, you know, kind of wedding and all that? You have to talk on that. And then next will be limiting your guest list. Yes, guys, I mean it. Honestly, I know that we have family, we have friends, but trust me, it is better for you to have a controlled crowd that you can actually, you know, feed well and pay attention to well, than for you to have an unplanned wedding and have lots of people that you cannot attend to. Some people come to your wedding and majority, let's say about 40%, did not eat food, they didn't get any drink, and they leave. And perhaps you know you cannot attend to many people at the same time, especially on your wedding. So they start getting mad at you, angry at you because you're not paying attention to them. So it becomes too much. Instead, just minimize your guest list. I'm not saying that it has to be like small. It just has to be what works for you. If you and your family are this extra close and they know your people, your colleagues, your friends and all that, then you could go with a bigger crowd. They could help you entertain some of them, you know, so it would be like a less work for you. But then if your family and, you know, your life outside the family isn't really coming together, then it is better for you to just limit your guest list. I feel that's safe, you know. And then dealing with unwanted guests. Yes, they are unwanted guests. I remember my wedding. Trust me, there was this particular woman standing close to me. I turned and I looked her in the eye, and she was just there smiling. And I was like, wondering, what is this woman doing? Guess what? She was, the money that was being sprayed on me, she was actually picking it up, and then she would be as if she's helping the people packing the money, you know, to put in a sack. And then at some point she would fold some and put in her bag. And it was almost towards the end of the wedding that I was asking someone, do you know her? Do you know who that is? Is she our relation? And then my elder sister was like, actually, I do not know her. I'm like, oh my God, she's actually an unwanted guest. So people tend to come to your wedding unprepared. Like if you're from the north, mostly they could be, you know, the village people. Some of the Almajiris students could actually just come and they would ruin everything, because for them it's not they don't really care. I went to a wedding, particular wedding, that the MC was talking, and then there was this woman, she carried her food and she was looking at the MC and was eating, like she was standing close to him, like she was going to enter into his body. It was really weird. I'm like, are you okay? Why would you do that? Go sit down. You're not a child. Go sit down. But then basically, yeah, that's it. You have to find a way to do it on what I guess. What's your plan? Do you have a bouncer that that you could put, you know, at the entrance of the venue? Do you have an access card that you'd give particular number of people that could come, so that anybody without a card wouldn't be allowed to enter the hall, the event place and all that? That's how you basically deal with unwanted guests. So you have to make plans. If it's that, then you get your access card ready. You talk to your wedding planner to make sure that you have enough seat and table for that particular number that you're expecting. Make sure you try to avoid kids. I know African, we're used to bringing kids to event, but that is so wrong, so wrong. Do not do that. Someone wants a wedding that they could actually control, and when you're bringing your kids that you cannot control yourself, next would be meeting a wedding planner. Or you could prepare your script book. I know I did have a script book, and there was a lot of things. I don't even know where it is right now. I don't know if it's with my mom or my sister, but there was a lot of plans in there. Everything was just like, okay, this will be this. The next one would be choosing a suitable venue for your event. That is a necessity. Like I said, If you have decided you want an outdoor, then you have to look for which outdoor environment could work for you and how to deal with unwanted guests. If you want indoor, then you have to search for that. That's the next stage. Go search for it. Make sure your venue is suitable for your guests, and then you check the proximity of where you stay and where the venue is. Okay, it is actually advisable to get somewhere closer to your home, because that would make it less stressful for people that would come, for you yourself. If it's far, you don't know the how it's going to turn out. There might be a hold up, there could be lots of things could happen. So it is very advisable for you to pick a space or a venue close to where you live, and then you put your guests into consideration. Safety for your guests, yes. Is the place that you're going? I know people tend to like, okay, let's get somewhere more affordable, but is that place safe? Would that be safe? I remember my own Fulani event. We did it in Ruga, and we all know how sometimes when you stay late out, especially around the Ruga area, it might not be safe. So what happened was my dad actually got some security men to just come with us. And that's me thinking about guests, or should I say that's my family thinking about our guests. We do not want anyone to get hurt and all that. So you have to consider the safety of your guests as well. And then you have to check the weather. Yes, if it's raining season, please do not even think, do not predict, do not assume that, oh my God, a miracle is going to happen, I'm going to do my outdoor event. Please don't. If it's a rainy season, it is better for you and safer for you to make to do an indoor event. And then if it's during summer, then of course you can take outdoors. So always consider the weather when picking a wedding venue. And then we come next to some of the necessary things, which is hiring a photographer and a videographer. Everyone wants a picture, okay? And we've come to the era of social media where pictures are necessary. Pictures are important. History are always important. You want to show your kids, oh, that's my wedding day, that was when I did this. So you need to get a photographer, and it's better for you to get a photographer at the earlier stage. Talk to your photographer, talk to your videographer, make sure you have plans, give them advance and get it done with. And that will be getting the MC. Yes, get me. It's always good to book your MC early. And next would be choosing your best man and your bridesmaid. Yes, for the groom, check your best man. Who is it going to be? For the ladies, for the bride, pick on your bridesmaid. Make the plans, tell her what you need. They're basically your left-hand person, or should I say your right-hand man and your right-hand woman. So you have to just tell them at the earliest stage, make your plans with them, involve them in every decision that could actually make their work more easier and make your day perfect. Next would be buying a wedding cake. You have to make sure you remember that. Some people tend to forget to almost close to the wedding actually before you now start thinking of, okay, I need a wedding cake for this, I need a wedding cake for this. It happened to me, and at the end of the day I couldn't get the wedding cake. Like I wanted to do a wedding cake I wanted to do an event cake for my Fulani day, make it a bit cultural and all that. But it skipped my mind because I did not talk about it at that time that I was talking about my wedding cake, like for the main event. So instead of me to deal with it at that time, I was thinking, no, I still had the time, I could actually talk about it some other time. Well, anyways, the whole thing got chaotic and I forgot, and I had to do the event without the cake. So it's always good for you to do that at the earliest stage. The next will be sending out invitations. Yay! If we've gotten to this stage, then that's amazing. That's really superb. Then you send out invitations to everyone, telling them, okay, we're getting married on so date. Make sure you check on the date, because things happened. And I think for me, there was a mistake as well in one of my wedding invitation, and lots of people didn't come, not because it was only December, but because the date was mixed up. There was different designs basically. So one of the designs came out with my older sister's wedding date. It was December same, but mine was 12th and hers was 30th. So that card came out with 30th, and none of us actually realized it. We shared it until after the wedding, and then some people came out like, we thought it was, why did like I was like, oh my God, sorry. So you have to pay attention to every details. print out the card, check, read through, give other people to read through. Family members should examine everything to make sure there is no mistakes. And the honeymoon plan, yes, I know some of us in Africa don't do honeymoon, but it's necessary. After the wedding, there's a lot of stress, so plan your honeymoon according to how or what you can afford. If you can afford to travel out, by all means. If you can afford to travel within states, like interstate, fine. If you can't, then find a place in your location or in your city and just take the time, even if it's 2 days, because wedding comes with a lot of stress. So it's always good to just plan honeymoon. If you do not have it to plan honeymoon, then plan honeymoon in your house. What would happen if immediately guests stop coming? Because I think in Nigeria there's like 1 week to 2 weeks grace of people coming to see your house, but then afterwards plan something just for you to rest, even if it means locking the door and pretending you're not inside just so you can rest. I'm not telling anybody to be bad, I am just saying. So just make your plans, and yeah, the earlier the better. The next would be wedding items for bride. Yes, yeah, wedding dress, ashwebi, jewelries. Is it silver you want? Is it gold? Shoes, flowers, underwear, makeup, hairdo, gele, manicure, pedicure, massage, henna, like whatever. Make sure you write it down. Yeah, you remember that scrapbook we talked about? Bring it up and then write it down in details. What do I need? How do I go about it? What is necessary? What should I do? Write it out all for the bride. The bride needs all that, so you need to write it down. And then for the guys not to feel left out, of course, wedding outfit for the groom, which is a necessity. The bride will not go out looking bang and then the groom coming out looking no, it's both ways. So you also make plans for the groom. What kind of clothes is he wearing? Suit, kaftan, agbada. Make sure you write it down. If there are multiple events, plan on what exactly he would wear for what. And then of course, shoes. What would your best man and your groomsmen wear? Plan it as well, do not forget that. So basically that would be the end of part 1 of this video. Like I said, I just decided for this part 1 for me to mention exactly what you need to make your wedding a semi-perfect, close to perfect kind of wedding. And yeah, on the next part 2, which I would be putting out after this, if I should see an amazing response, hopefully, then I would put out step by step exactly when to do this and when not to do this. You get? So I would say thank you very much. If you have stayed all through to the end of this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, I would appreciate that. And make sure you share your comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. If you are already married, can you actually relate with all this? If you are not married yet, do you think this is helpful? Let me know on the comment section below. Please do not forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and of course click on the post notification so you can get alerts on all of my upload. Until next time, it is Sumi signing out. Bye.